Did you know that meditation can actually change the structures inside of your brain? Let's talk about it. So, there's a lot of scientific research nowadays that really supports the idea that meditation and mindfulness practices, when done regularly, can not just reduce stress, but also change the shape and function of parts of your brain. But the first scientist who came out with a landmark study that showed scientific support for the practices of mindfulness and meditation was Dr. Sarah Lazar. She's a neuroscientist at Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School. And what she found was insane. One of the first things she discovered was that meditation had the ability to create more gray matter in the brain, specifically in the prefrontal cortex, which is where we have all of our thinking, our motor skills, our language skills. And generally, as we get older, these deteriorate, which is why you see things like dementia and Alzheimer's in a lot of older folks. So she found that regular meditation actually increases gray matter, which helps us stay young in that part of our brain. Then she also found differences in brain volume in four different areas. So the first was in the posterior cingulate, which is involved in mind wandering and self relevance. The second area was the hippocampus, specifically the left hippocampus. This is the part of our brain that's responsible for our ability to learn, to think, to have memory, and to have emotional regulation. Then the third place was in the temporoparietal junction, the TPJ, which is associated with perspective taking, so having perspective, empathy, and compassion. And finally, in the pons, which is where a lot of regulatory neurotransmitters are produced, and also where the amygdala is located. And what she found was incredible here. Essentially, the amygdala is your fight or flight system. It's your internal alarm bell. So if you're triggered easily into anxiety, depression, overwhelm, anger, that's generally because your amygdala is large. She found that with regular meditation, people's amygdalas shrunk, which meant that they were less stressed, less triggered, and generally happier. So, this was just from an 8 week study, meaning that these participants only meditated for 8 weeks regularly for somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes a day. And they saw these results happening so quickly. So, with meditation, TLDR, your memory gets better, your cognition gets better, your decision making gets better, your fight or flight system shrinks so that you're not as triggered, you're able to emotionally regulate, and it's all because these different parts of your brain are directly affected by your ability to practice breathing and being present. Let me know what you think in the comments.